What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorldPodcast. And yes, it's a special for Week 12 because we just witnessed the game Ravens versus Steelers on a Wednesday. Very, very weird situation that was going on. Pretty much it's a pandemic going on and people just can't really get the proper players out on the field. And you get to see why certain players just should not be starting quarterbacks in the National Football League. We're going to go ahead and start off with RG3. The dude has been horrific since he got injured. His rookie season was probably arguably one of the best rookie seasons ever. Well, I don't want to say that. Yeah, he was really, really good. He did a lot of great things, but after his knee got tore up, that Seahawk game, I'll never forget it. The dude was pretty much limping around. He's never been the same. He was trash all throughout the day. I don't really know what else we can really say about him. We have another guy, Des Bryant, that's on the field with him. He also is terrible. It was just it was just a madness, bro, because you kind of knew, even though the Steelers weren't playing as well, that the Ravens are just not good without Lamar Jackson, bro. Like, people need to understand. I had a guy tell me the other day, Lamar Jackson is still just a running back. Now, when he first came into the league and people were saying stuff like, he can't throw the ball, and, he was in his first playoff game and they booed him, and then, obviously his coach stayed with him, and, John Harbaugh was like, I'm dedicated to that. He comes back, wins MVP. If you still call him a running back, you got a lot of hate in your heart. That's pretty much what it is, because he's shown that he can do more than just run the football. RG3 is a trash can player. Okay, would he have been better, if he would have came back and wanted to stay with the same kind of offense in Washington? There was rumors that his dad said that they didn't want him, to actually, run around as much after the knee injury. They wanted to be a pocket passer. Now he comes back like 8 years later and he's on the Ravens doing the same exact thing. It doesn't make any sense. But look, either way, that doesn't matter. He threw a very, very bad interception. He, 68 yards on the ground, 7 carries, 9.7 average. Very, very terrible overall, though. I'm not sure what his QBR is, but it doesn't really matter. It was awful to watch this offense. Des Bryant got 2 targets, 0 receptions, which is what we expected. Marquise Brown, 4 receptions, 85 yards, 8 targets, 1 touchdown. We all saw that one if you tuned into the game. Unfortunately, it wasn't RG3 that threw that touchdown. We had Trace go out there and handle business. I'm going to tell you this right now, though. People that are Ravens fans, this is going to be a rather disappointing season because of they lost big games that they were supposed to win, even with Lamar. You got this stuff going on where people are on a list. It's really, really bad. You got to rebound now and come back. And like I said, Lamar Jackson is very, very special, and I think he can only get better. But it showed me today how important he is to this offense, because watching RG3 run, it was like watching my granddad run, bro. Like, he just looks so ridiculous. And you know what's funny? The commentator even said, when they spoke to Mike Tomlin about RG3, they were like, come on, man, he's not Lamar Jackson. Because I don't think people realize how fast Lamar Jackson really is. But when you look at RG3, you're just like, that guy sucks. He was a guy that used to be like one of the fastest QBs in the NFL. And now you look at him and he could barely move. It's like, all right, dude, it looks like he's struggling to run. And I just knew off rip when the ball was kicked off, the Ravens were going to lose this game and the Steelers will remain undefeated. We're going to talk about the Steelers' offense and everything, obviously, in a second. But overall, the Ravens have really disappointed over these last 4 or 5 games. And I don't know how they're going to rebound going forward into the playoffs. Maybe they'll get a boost, in the next coming weeks. Lamar Jackson comes back. There's more things going on. But you need Lamar Jackson to successfully run this offense. It is just not something that you want to take part of if Lamar Jackson is not a part of this offense. It's clear as day to see it. Big Ben Roethlisberger, 36 of 51. He wasn't as spectacular either. He also had a bad interception. But fortunately for him, his defense played well. You see what I'm saying? This is the thing. The Steelers' defense, people are not really understanding. That's going to be the game-changing aspect on if they go on to win a Super Bowl or if they get eliminated in the playoffs. That's going to be the game, because Big Ben Roethlisberger, he will drop back and throw a pick. Everybody knows this. You remember those years that they used to play the Patriots and they could never beat the Patriots, but they were always right there with the Patriots, and Tom Brady would just do whatever Tom Brady does at that time, and then Big Ben will have the ball last and be able to make a play and throw a pick? That's what Big Ben is. It's not like he's that guy that's going to always make the right reads. He's done some good things, but he's very, very likely to throw an interception. But Unfortunately, when he's throwing to his players, and some of them were dropping the ball, we had some guys catching the ball on all kind of coverages. James Washington making big plays late, whatever. But this is the situation. I want you guys to understand a couple things, right? Juju Smith-Schuster, he's been playing a lot better than he was last year. 8 receptions on 9 targets, 1 touchdown, 37 yards. Eric Ebron, who's a tight end, they're using him as a wide receiver in certain cases. Chase Claypool drops an open touchdown. I don't want when I say it's open, I understand that the defender is there, but Claypool has to make that play. People need to understand, these are professional athletes. It's a reason why they're out there on the field, and their teammates depend on them. And, you have Hall of Famers that talk about it like that, yo, that should have been a catch. You know what I'm saying? Like that right there. That's the kind of impact, because this guy's been playing really, really well. And Chase, they're going to need you out there, fam. I've been really enjoying watching this young man play. It's a beautiful thing to see. But those plays have to be made. We could bring up DK Metcalf a week ago when the ball hits him right in the face mask. Like, if you're going to be that star player and you're going to be compared like DK Metcalf, people like, yo, he's 1 inch shorter than Randy Moss, but he's like, they remind you of Randy Moss. Randy Moss would have caught that ball. Go check the tape. He would have caught that ball. These guys have to make plays. They have to be better. And offensively, the Steelers weren't good. It's just the fact. Look, let me tell you like this, right? If Lamar Jackson plays, I believe the Ravens wins this. They win this game, because RG3 was so terrible, and the defense of the Steelers looked so much better than it actually was because he was so terrible. It worked out, because in certain cases, you could have anybody else out there other than RG3, and they would have made a play. So I do believe that could have happened. I believe that Lamar Jackson may have won this game if he played, but it doesn't really matter. He wasn't there. It didn't work out. It is what it is. But the Steelers weren't really 16 carries for Benny Snell, 60 yards, 3.8 average. It wasn't really a situation where it was oh my God, one big thing stood out. It was a nip-tuck game. It's a rivalry. This is the way that it usually goes down, but it still was very, very, it was a defensive-minded game. The defense was obviously the offense for the Steelers in the most cases, and that's how they ended up doing it. The muff punts, different weird stuff that was going on with the Steelers. They didn't play overall on all 3 phases very well, but they were able to just be better, than the Ravens, because the Ravens were they were underhanded. It's undermanned, underhanded, however, whatever word it is, for just having a lack of the real players out there. But they do have to consider getting rid of RG3 as a backup. I know that you need a fast QB to run it in case Lamar Jackson goes down. RG3 just ain't it. And Des Bryant, what are you doing, bro? The dude looked like he needed a walker, running his routes out there. It doesn't really matter, bro. We got to see what happens with the Ravens. Congratulations to the Steelers being undefeated. I got to see what happens going down. I don't really feel that if they play like this, they're going to win the Super Bowl, though. I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. Enjoy your day. One love, y'all.